Hello and hello everyone, my name is Lucy, welcome to Books and Brushes. I'm very hot right now. So in the UK right now, it's really muggy outside, like it's not even nice weather, it's just grey and muggy and hot. Like we need a thunderstorm really bad. So this last week has been real uncomfortable, but I'm pushing through, I've got my windows closed, I've got no fan, so I'm probably going to rock this video out fairly quickly today because I'm dying. So previously in June I was supposed to have a video up, which you may or may not have noticed did not go up. So yeah, I planned it, I filmed it, I edited it, I was almost done editing it, and then the whole file corrupted. So that was a joyous time. I was already late making the video and like releasing the video, and then with the whole corruption thing, it just never came out and it's really annoying, but such is life. So I have the footage still, I could still re-edit it, I'd have to start again kind of, which is gets my heart racing just thinking about that, but I've got the footage so I could re-edit it and re-release it at some point in the future. Who really knows? So will you ever see that? We do not know. But anyway, all that's behind us now. Today we are talking my June wrap up and the 3 books I've read this month. Now I think you know where this is going if you watched the May wrap up from last month, because last month I read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and Hollow Souls. So if you kind of, have an orderly brain, you might have figured the first book I read this month was A Library of Souls, and just like if you watch my May wrap up, I won't like spew out all the same things, but I'll do a little recap. I still loved this book. It was so much fun going back over it, especially The Library of Souls, I think, because I think out of the trilogy this was the most confusing book of the trilogy, because it was like so many things happening, so many different and strange locations, like Barbiton and the Library of Souls was such... I remember when I first read it I was like, whoa, what's happening? So many things. So rereading it was really fun for that clarity because I'd read it before. I really enjoyed reading this one again and finishing the trilogy for a second time. It brought me back to all the feels. Ending gets me every time, so yeah. Still a 9 out of 10 for The Library of Souls, which is what I rated it last time. I tend to stick with my ratings, like, unless it's a book I read years ago or something, I rate it super high and then I've decided it isn't as good, but this I only read, what, a year or two ago, so my opinions haven't really changed that much since then, so good book, obviously. The reason I read the Miss Peregrine's trilogy over again to begin with was because of a certain new book that came out. Not that you need a reason to reread a trilogy you love, but I did need to read it or recap it so that I could get to Map of Days, the newest release which came out, was it last year? I don't remember, but this new one came out fairly recently and it's been a while since I read Miss Peregrine's, so I reread this whole trilogy to get to this one. So this month I read Map of Days, and obviously this was my first time reading Map of Days, so it's a totally new book for me in a trilogy I already know, a world I know, characters I know, but a new book. And it was really fun to get some new content from this series because I thought it was done and over. I was definitely never against a continuing of this series, and this one was really interesting. It's still all the lark and the fun and the peculiarness. It's got all the same vibe. They haven't like super changed it. The pictures have colour a lot in this one, not that that makes much difference to me, I don't think. I mean, I love the black and white, the colour's cool in this like sepia tone mostly. As for the story, this time we are in America, which isn't as fun for me because I kind of love the Welsh and the English setting since British. Family from Wales, But it was still fun to do this American setting of the Peculiardom and to see that this world was not over. That the Battle of Devil's Acre was just that. It was just a battle and the future continues. There's still stories to be told. A battle's not been won. Just because Europe's, in a good place right now doesn't mean the whole world is. So to expand it onto America and have like Jacob in home turf was kind of fun. and to see all these peculiars and the peculiar locations from America was interesting. I really enjoyed the plot. I would say this one was a little slow. I mean, I guess it's back to like the first Miss Peregrine's, where a lot of the book it's just Jacob not knowing who he is, discovering that, you know, he goes to Cairn home and he discovers the children. So a lot of the beginning, you know, isn't like Hollow City or Library of Souls. That's just with the children, with the adventuring. And this one's kind of like that again. You're back to the slower burn. You got to build that story back up. But I liked it. I liked the moments with just Jacob and his friends in his house, this like clashing of the two worlds, and then the slow rolling of the ball for an adventure to start going and to really build up this new world of adventures that they have yet to discover. I feel like if you like the Miss Peregrine trilogy, there is absolutely no reason why you wouldn't like Map of Days. I thoroughly enjoyed the new read, and yeah, there will be more in this series. I did get to the end and was like, yep, no, there's going to be another one. You just know Jacob is not finished there. Like, no, he can't be. So now I have to wait for another one, and then it'll probably come out ages away, and then I'll have to reread this whole thing again. Stress. I like to binge read, if you didn't know. Like, I hate reading a book and then waiting and reading a book and waiting, but I guess that's just what I'm going to have to do. So yeah, I cannot wait for more peculiar adventures, and I'm so glad that I finally got to this book that I've been dying to get to ever since it came out. And if it wasn't obvious, 9 out of 10. It's good to read like some books I know are going to be fun. You know, when you read a new book and it's like, will it be a 2? Will it be a 10? Who knows? But when you read a book that you're like, yeah, I know I'm going to love this. So that's always a fun time, because you don't have any worries and you can just enjoy yourself, which is what reading is all about. And finally, we have one more book that I want to talk about, which I have not finished yet. I'm almost there. So I'm just going to do that thing where I talk about what I think of it so far. I can't give you a rating yet. I'll tell you my final thoughts. But I will do a little wrappy up in my next month, which will be my July wrap up, and just give you a little top up of my finished thoughts. But I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I know, late to the party, as always. This is an adult book that's kind of taken the book world by storm recently. Not even recently, but in the past few months, I'd say. It was a lot of people's favourite book at the end of the year, in the beginning of the year or something, and I've just heard everyone talk about it. And I read the synopsis and that, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. I found it for a good deal, I bought it, and I decided to pick it up, and oh my god, I'm really enjoying it. Don't you love it when the hype is real? This book, I realised I didn't describe what Miss Peregrine's was about. But if you don't know what Miss Peregrine's is about, then you obviously are new to BookTube. Hello, welcome. To be fair, Evelyn Hugo's pretty big now, so you probably know what that's about too. But it's about this reporter who gets tasked with doing the autobiography of Evelyn Hugo, the biggest movie star of like the 50s, very like Marilyn Monroe-esque icon. And this is a fictional woman. It's a completely fictional story about a fictional person, but it feels so real. It feels like Monique, this journalist, is a real person interviewing a real person. So you just get these snippets of Monique talking to Evelyn and her story, but the majority is Evelyn telling her life story from when she was young and, you know, going into Hollywood, and all the husbands and lives and dramas she's had. And I'm really enjoying it. I think Evelyn Hugo is such a fascinating character. Like, she seems so real. Like, she's a human. She's real. I swear, I didn't make her up. Even to the point I was doing a quiz with my family, and it was like movie stars from the 50s, and I went, Evelyn Hugo! And everyone thought I sounded really smart, even though they didn't realise it was a made-up fictional character. Whoops. It's really, really well-written book. Just the way it flows, the writing style I absolutely love. Just the way that Taylor Jenkins Reid tells the story. It's so maturely written. Just the way she foreshadows, the way she kind of alludes to what's going to happen next. author, and I thought that was my life until, and just the way it builds, I think the stages of her life, the way it's split up into the different husbands and eras, I think it's such a well written narrative, and I'm just really enjoying Monique's relationship with Evelyn and Evelyn's relationships with other people, with the husbands, with her friends, with their managers. Just, there is so much going on there, and Evelyn's character, first of all, she's a Slytherin. I mean, I'm sorry to be the Harry Potter nerd, but here we are. So manipulative and sneaky and gets what she wants. She's ambitious, but all in a good way. Like, she is the ideal Slytherin. Like, she has so much feeling, yet she always directs it in the right way. And there's just, I don't know, there's so much to this story, to this life story, and it's a real person, you know. A lot of the books I read are so fantastical, but this is like such a realistic story, even though it's in the world of fiction, and even though it's set in the 50s, it feels like real now. It's like I'm with Evelyn for the whole hog. I feel like I'm right next to her, and I'm feeling all of her pain, and I'm really loving this story, and I have a feeling it's going to be a good rating. I'm going to guess in the 8 or 9 ballpark, so that's really good. That my June month was just solid 9s or something. That would be amazing. That's always like a book lover's dream. I am really enjoying this book, and I'm sorry I'm adding to the hype, but there it is. I guess the hype's probably died now, so I'm keeping the hype alive. It does make me want to pick up some of Taylor Jenkins Reid's other books. I don't know whether I'll do that or not. I know Daisy Jones and the Six is the other one that's now hyped to the max, so I think I might pick up that one next, we'll see. But that is the 3 books I read in June. I hope you had an amazing June reading month like I did. I didn't read loads of books, but the 3 books I did read were absolute quality, and 3 is a decent number. I'm happy with that. Of the yearly reads, I probably won't reach. Last year I read like 53 books in the year. This year I definitely wouldn't be on track for that same number. Not that I'm, you know, totally obsessed with reaching a certain number, but it's just, you know, when you set a goal, it feels weird to go below it, or something like you're digressing rather than progressing. Booktubers and book lovers have strange brains. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you enjoyed me talking about Miss Peregrine's trilogy, A Map of Days, and Evelyn Hugo, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!